Ladies and gentlemen, it's on. It's on. It's somebody wrote a song one time and said it's Friday night and the weekends are right. Where's the party? It's right here. You ain't gotta look no. It's right here, ladies and gentlemen. We told you we were gonna be consistent. Now you can't get us, 3-4 times a week, but on Friday nights at about 7 o'clock, this just about a guarantee. You can book it. Welcome once again to the Cowboys OG Podcast, where the truth is told. I think that's a good motto. Where the truth is told, good or bad, whether you like it or you don't, we coming. And here we are again, and I got tonight my two brothers with me as we talk and dwell in Dallas Cowboy land. And forgive my title, I did not change it, and I'm going to do that as we speak. I put down the last week's title was about Washington, but obviously this week is about Denver. But forgive me for that. I have that ready for you in a moment. Forgive me, brothers, for that. But we're here. We're ready to rock. A lot of things happened in Dallas Cowboy land since the last time we saw you. Of course, we picked up another victory. We saw what they looked like against Washington. Most of you haven't heard us collectively about that. We'll give a little brief talk about that, and then we'll get on to what I figure obviously is the biggest game of the season for several reasons, and I'm going to talk about that on my take. Why it's huge, and it goes, and I'll give you a little sneak tease. I think it's a little bit deeper than just a football game. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But my brother here, Cowboy Joe, B-Bird, is in the building. Cowboy Joe, what's going on, man?
Good to see you guys again on Friday night. And man, we got another playoff game coming up on Sunday. We got another playoff game, so it seems like that's the way it's gonna be for the rest of the way. So we should be able to just kind of keep this thing going, because every week the game's getting bigger and bigger.
Big Bird in the building. What up?
Hey, man. Hey, it's Friday, man. After a win last week, I'm off of work. I got PBA and them homecoming tomorrow, man. So everything is good, man.
Man, that's great, man. That's great. That's great. And my week has been a pretty good week. We at least kept the haters off of us. For generally, what be killing me, y'all, is before the game, the team that we play is good, and then as soon as we beat them in grand fashion, now all of a sudden they bad. And I understand Washington was, lacking guys and all that, but there were people that picked Washington in spite of that to beat us on that night. I said, good Lord, y'all just don't believe. And then I thought about it for a second, and I said, it just ain't the haters that don't believe. It's some of the Cowboy Nation that just may not believe quite yet. And I'll be honest with you, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. I'm not gonna fault them. They've bitten the cookie before and got burnt. And it looked like every year we end up somewhat in this same spot. And here we are again. And I hate to keep dancing around it, but let's just talk. How y'all feeling about just overall? Maybe not the game. I guess I ask this, then we'll feed off Cowboy Joe. He'll take something after this. But let me just ask this, and let me ask the chat too. Hey, grateful for all of you guys that are here in the chat. Hit that like button, please. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Wherever you're watching from, hit that like button. We can make the algorithm go crazy tonight if you guys would help us tonight about that. Let me ask y'all this question, and you in the chat as well. How do y'all feel about the Cowboys this week in opposed to last week? Has it grown as far as positivity? Is it the same? Or are you feeling just a little bit lower? Because it ain't a whole lot. Because, I mean, we won the game. There's things that we can, argue about. But how are you feeling, Cowboy Joe, about what? Are we climbing? Are we the same? Is it remain to be seen? I mean, how you feeling?
I'm in the remain to be seen mode. I just think it all centers around the defense. I feel good about the offense. They're consistent. They got good coaches over there on that side of the ball. But for me, it's still a put up or shut up time for the defensive coordinator, the coach of the defense. And so that's kind of really what it comes down to. I'm going to have to see several games where our defense puts on a performance like we had against the Jets, against Washington, because that Carolina Chicago game is still lingering out there. Somebody mentioned this today, and I can't believe it. If the playoffs started today, the Bears would be in a playoff over us. That's just hard. That's just hard to believe. And that's because of that. It's because of that Bear game and the Carolina game. So I feel great about the offense, big time show, but the defense, I'm still kind of leery about what's happening over there.
B-Bird, what's up? What you feeling?
So we have the number one offense and the number 31st or 32nd defense.
So 28 now. We're 28.
We moved up.
So this year been a roller coaster, man. It's been a roller coaster. We've had our ups, our downs. Hey, as sports fans, we kind of ebb and flow with this team, and it's kind of been all over the place. Now, what I will say is this. Let's go back and look at Carolina, and let's go look at Chicago, and honestly say that from a reputation standpoint of what they've been, that's what we thought we was facing. But those two teams have been winning some games this year, man. So, we might look back at these losses where we thought was kind of, those should have been winnable games, and find those two teams in the playoffs maybe at the end of the year, man. So we have the number one offense, 28 defense. I think we can do better. Big time, great show on Max Crosby. And I have to say, man, and I rarely do this. I was one of the first content creators on that Max Crosby trade. Good shout out, Jules, for that too the other day. I listened to y'all's show. Thank you for that. Because I just thought it was a great fit. Everything you said, I listened to it on the way home big time the other day. You hit on so many points on Max Crosby. I know I'm getting off the subject. But the thing is that if we're going to go farther, our defense is still going to have to play better, but also we need an infusion of talent there. And I think that's what we need to do. And I think that'll stabilize things, especially with Flus understanding that, hey, I can't just sit in his zone 90% of the time and let them know what we're going to do. I think the offense is good. Dak's playing at MVP level. And, we just got to do some things. We're going to find out some things in the next couple of weeks before the trade deadline to see, where we're going to be at.
All right. Let me take it another way. I'm feeling better. Not because of that we won. One of my biggest things was, and maybe the chat, maybe some of you guys can feel me on this. One of the things that I've always said was that politics and loyalty are the cancers of the Cowboys. I saw something in that game that no matter the outcome, I said, okay, I know this is your boy, but you did not do it. And it's what we've been asking for forever. Sanborn was dressed, ready to go, and did not play one defensive snap. He did not play at all. He had a DNP by his name, which means that stands for did not play. He did not play, and that is not Dallas Cowboy way. The Dallas Cowboys have always been loyal to certain players just because we traded for you, or you're getting paid the highest, or you was the starter, and you can get your job automatically back. Nope. Mr. James, no matter what y'all feel about Shamar James, Shamar James played. He started on the defense. So I took that as to say, okay, we ain't the only ones that are obviously seeing the tape don't lie. Sanborn is just not it. And guess what? They made the change. Now we have to live with a rookie that's playing linebacker. However, as with a rookie, guess what? The more he on the field, the better he get. I saw Shamar James play better than he did when he played against the Jets, which was really his first game and all that. I saw Kenneth Murray play the Mike position better than he did in the Jet game. So in other words, I saw some improvement, and I'm just going off, hope, when I say that I think they're only going to get better. So if they're getting better, that obviously means your defense is going to get better as we go, and this will probably be their third week in a row starting. And I like the way James played, especially after looking at him on the film. Yeah, he still had some little slight mistakes in zone coverage, not active. But as far as playing the run goes, oh man, athlete was in the building, but a pure athlete was in the building, getting there, hitting people with force whenever he got in, running like his hair's on fire. And he just does things the same way. So if we would have lost, I still would be saying the same thing. Sanborn, one of the pet cats of Eberflus, did not play. And I said, okay, now we know that the true players are really playing now. That at least as of now. I'm not saying Sanborn not gonna play against Denver, but he didn't start this week. So that's the only thing I'm gonna say. So that's what I think.
You ever notice whenever Jerry's asked about do we have good enough players, and he never says no, we don't. That's because it's his job to get players. So he can never say no, this roster is not good. He's never in his career said this roster is not good enough. Yeah. So what that's politics, right? And the other political thing is the people that I'm assigned, I have to make those successful. Well, how do I make them successful? By keeping them on the field. Yeah. And what if somebody's behind them better? Nah, I got to keep my guy that I paid the money on the field. It's going to make me look bad if a dude that's walking up 5th round draft pick, starting over this, $8 million player. So a lot of time, what I'm trying to tell y'all big time is that you are absolutely correct. Politics come into play, man. And the money is politics, draft position is politics, and a whole bunch of other things are politics. And what it is, it all goes back to, hey, this Gio don't want to look like he made a bad move by, paying this guy a lot of money, right? But it looks like in what you're saying, football is actually taking over. And just the best, it's a meritorious, I'll probably say that wrong. It's a merit-based sport. The best players should play. That's all it is to it. And when you have that, then the people on the bench that's striving understand that if I get out there and I play, I can keep this job. Yeah. Or when I get out there and play, I don't care how good I play better than the guy. The guy's making $7 million. I'm coming back on the bench. Now, can I say one thing? That kind of happens everywhere, but it happens in abundance in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I would agree. We called this on our show a few weeks ago. We said, what would Jimmy Johnson do? And he would just play the younger, faster, more physical players. That's just what happened by osmosis. So, yeah, Sanborn sitting down. Linebackers look a lot better. Kenneth Murray had a good game, as you said. Leo Fowl, I thought he was active as well. Mm-hmm. I think right now that one cornerback slot, and talking about Diggs here, that's kind of a concern. The corner we had, Tricreasy Bridgman, whatever his name.
Bridges.
He's really tall over there. He did okay. I'm frustrated with the fact that they cut Izzy McQuamu. I think they should have kept Izzy. I think he would have been able to help. So that one cornerback slot, is Booth still on the team, or did they cut him?
Booth gone.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I'm feeling much better, to your point, big time, about the linebackers. I think we have who we have. I think they're going to be okay the more they play. And so I feel good about the linebackers. Right now, for me, it's just the corner. Probably get Wanye back this week. One thing I saw that I was really impressed with, Bell played a lot. Bell needs to be on the field in some form or fashion. He can play down in the box. He can play deep. I'm a Donovan Wilson fan. I don't want Donovan Wilson benched. He needs to be on the field. So what Jimmy Johnson would do, he would just take all of these players, the Bells, the Wilsons, the the linebackers that we have, and he would just tell the coaches, I want these guys on the field, figure it out, and that's what we're gonna do.
Hey, big time.
Yo.
Can I acknowledge a comment in them? My daughter in college asked a question, so I'm gonna read it.
Who is it?
It says Madison Burwell.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put it up?
Yeah, we can see it. I can
see it. I don't know if let me.
It's on my channel.
Go ahead.
So it says, do y'all think that the Cowboys are one player away on defense from being a Super Bowl contender? And is that player a D lineman or a defensive back? Hey, cutie, love you.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, you brought it to the forefront weeks ago. You think it's Crosby. Now, I would tell you one thing I like about my show with my son, we don't always agree. And so you won him over with the Crosby talk. I was kind of, not sure about it. I think I'm coming over to you guys' side. The concern I had was giving up 2 1s for him, B-Bird.
Yeah.
But if our 2 1s are going to be in the 20s and 30s, then it makes sense to me. And so I think they're working on it. They think there's, that's what they do. They kind of do things behind the scenes, to their credit. So I think the Crosby trade is live and well, Madison, and that might be your guy.
I don't think you would have to give up your 2 first for that. That's just first thing. I think you would have to give up one of them, and you're gonna have to give up maybe something a little bit later on. Maybe your 4th. We don't have a 3rd.
Okay. That would be my preference.
Yeah, I mean, you may even give up something for next year to throw it in there. You might even give up a player with that as well. I don't think you have to give up 2 1s for him. However, from a football standpoint, if the Cowboys are going to be this type of offense, and right now the only game that I saw that we really didn't do anything was the Chicago game. We didn't score that many points against Philly, but we moved the ball when we wanted to. So that, we can move the ball against anybody. So the way I'm looking at it is that if this offense is going to be, during this year, top 3 offense, you pretty much can see the game plan. It almost reminds you of 2023, maybe.
Absolutely.
You jump out in front and you jump out big and you force their offense to just become one-dimensional.
Yep.
And if it's about passing, then you need somebody that's going to get in there. And you can't, you got to have a pass rush, so you can seat them dogs on them. And Crosby fits the bill. Contract-wise, it makes sense. If you were going to pay $40 million or $41 million, or at least that's what you offered, for Micah, this dude ain't number 34, 35 million. Yeah. And it's going down. Next year, it's supposed to be, his guaranteed money is just for this year and next year. I wish I could bring the contract up for whatever. But anyway, if I'm not mistaken, next year, he's only, his price tag is $29 million. Wait a minute now. You were going to pay Michael 41 and this dude here, who is an all-pro, just like Michael was, and I know some of y'all for to get mad, but it's the truth. He's better at the run than Michael was. Listen, this not hard, and he's under 30 years old.
Yep.
I mean, 28 years old. This dude is legit. He commands a double team. His motor is high. He is a great football player. I don't, it makes sense, but this Dallas Cowboys, what makes sense don't make sense to the Jones family. So, and then of course they worried about the money issue, but and they'll be talking about, well, we get Crosby here, we won't be able to play Pickens and all that. Stop the fuss. I'm putting it on record now. Shut up. You can restructure Dak Prescott, which is what you're gonna do anyway. Because you're going to do that anyway, because, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you don't know it, Dak Prescott's salary cap next year, if they don't do nothing, is $74 million on the cap. You know they're going to restructure that. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dak, at this point in his career, once you think about his money, you just affront the money to him, and it won't count so much on the cap, given to him in the signing bonus. But even if you're trying to sign Pickens, and Pickens wants 34 or 35, because if he keep doing what he's doing right now, that's what he's gonna ask for. Tell you that right now. But listen, he may be at a point where his endorsement money is good. He's already made buku's amount of money, and Dak may want to sacrifice for the team just to keep this guy around, because it's obvious if you got Pickens around, I don't have to see nothing else. I don't care what Pickens does for the rest of the year. I've seen enough. I've seen him without CD. I've seen him with CD, and both of them are lethal. I've seen what Dak is doing. This is the offense that you can have for the next 3-4 years, which is going to be awesome. So I'm saying the cap that we're going to hear, now when I say cap, the lies that we're going to hear from Jerry and Steven is, well, listen, Dak Prescott's contract holds the key to next year, to be honest with you. You can make this thing whatever you want to be. You can make it to be where his cap is only $2 million. You know what I'm saying? Just give him all his money. He ain't going nowhere. You know what he going to do. Dak all in. Give him his thing so we can go and handle this thing. But I'm with y'all. I believe it's alive. We'll see. You know what? A lot of this is going to be dependent upon what we do in the next 2 weeks as far as wins and losses too. Yeah. Let me just say that. Go ahead.
And the game Sunday, it's a tough place to play. Now I remember, I'm kind of a Cowboy historian. I remember the '92 game, the last time we played there and won. It was cold, a little bit of snow on the ground. This was the game when Jimmy Johnson pulled Charles Haley into a bathroom stall and had to get him straightened out. Right today, I still don't know exactly what Charles Haley did. It was just watching the game. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a history there. But it's a tough place to play. And I just wanted to point out one thing about that Chicago game that I keep going back to. You know what really hurt us in that game? They went on a 10-minute drive. And it was a wrap. So that's what really you got to be concerned about in these games. If our defense can do 3 and outs, 6 and outs, B-Bird, I think we can play and beat anybody.
But you can't if you can't get to them.
Yeah.
That's what hurt us in the Chicago game. Mm-hmm. We couldn't get to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was taking pictures and blowing kisses and painting his fingernails. I ain't want to say that, but the
Carolina game too.
I mean, Brett, we made Bryce Young look like he was the next coming of Drew Brees. Yep. I mean, it was, we couldn't touch him, and that part I know they see it. I know they do. And that's what has to change, to be honest with you. Because look, we ain't got to the meat of the schedule yet. Look what's coming up. Good Lord. Golf, Mahomes. I'm saying these guys are coming up next. Hurts is coming back. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts coming back. We still got to see Daniels again. We still got to see this kid Dart. We still got to see we got to see I don't know who's gonna be the quarterback for the Vikings by the time we play them, but probably JJ McCarthy by then. But I ain't giving him too much respect. But I'm just saying we got some real quarterbacks that are coming up, and you better get to them. You just can't let them you can't let Mahomes just sit there. I mean, come on, man, he'll destroy us.
Hey, so look, we were talking about. I'm going back to the Pickens. I've been looking at this. And I'm going to show you what the Philadelphia Eagles do. Oh, for 1 second. So Jalen Hurts, God dog it where it went to. There we go. Jalen Hurts counts $21 million against the cap this year. Lane Johnson, and these are all guys that make over 20 to 30, a lot of millions of dollars. Lane Johnson's cap hit is 18. AJ Brown cap hit is makes $30-something million a year. Jordan Mailata makes 15. Cap hit is 15. Dallas Goedert cap hit is 10. Devontae cap hit, he makes $27 million a year. His cap hit is 7. Saquon's cap hit is 6. See, what they do is they lower their cap hit, but they get the money up front, man. And that's what the Cowboys don't do. And so that if you wonder why Philadelphia has all these players on the team, how they keep doing it, they cap hit low, man. They're not really worried about 2020 like that, man. So that's on that. But let's go back to Crosby, man. I think you pointed out a lot of things, man. This dude here is just it's a glove fit, man. I mean, Cowboys don't like negotiating. The contract's already there. So basically, you would get a guy that's making 13 of. Jerry can spin it this way. I got Clark.
There you go.
I got Max Crosby for $14 million less, and he's almost the same player.
Yeah.
And I got an extra first round draft pick. Yeah. So I want this whole thing. Looking back, which one would you rather have? Michael Parsons, you'd rather have these three. Extra first, Clark, and Max Crosby.
There's no question.
The second one, yeah. So it's there, and the contract is already in place. What I found out is that I posted this in the offseason before free agency on Twitter. I said, don't look for the Cowboys to make any big free agency moves. Their big moves are made in a trade. The reason why is because the contract is already there. They don't have to do no negotiating or anything like that. They can look at the contract, see how they can fit it in, and then they go and make the trade. What they don't like is a unsure contract. That's why I don't like going after big time free agents, because they don't know what it's going to go up to. So, so I think that the Max Crosby fit is the one, man. I think it's the one that can just change his defense. One thing you said big time is that this defense is only going to get better, but it is a ceiling to it, right?
Yeah.
And so with the ceiling, I like to get a person that can push us over the ceiling, right? And I think that's what Max Crosby would do. Now, one thing I do think is the formula for a 2023 in retrospect was not a good formula. What it was a front-running formula. We had to be in the lead for everything to go right. Yeah. But you got to remember that when we was not in the lead in Green Bay, you saw what happened to us. Our whole energy changed. And when somebody scored on us first, now our defense, we are at a loss when our defense has to play honest. You got to remember the Carolina game. We had to play honest. We couldn't make them do one thing. The Chicago game, the defense had to play honest. They were able to run and throw the ball all game. What we have to do is get a defense that can stop people on its own, not with the offense getting up and all that. We need a defense that can come in on its own, separate from the offense, that can say, no, I don't care what the offense is doing. We're going to get 4 people. We're going to get 4 downs and out. And so if you go back to the San Francisco Super Bowl against Kansas City, if it wasn't for their defense just stopping Kansas City when Mahomes wasn't playing well, they weren't playing good. And they just went out there and stopped them dudes, man. Because there was time in that game, in that first half, they was on the ropes. The defense saved them until Mahomes got good to go in the second half. Also, too, man, if we're gonna go, we may have to go to if we make the playoffs, we're blessed enough to make the playoffs, we may have to go to Philadelphia, Washington, Green Bay. Hey, throwing the ball ain't gonna be pretty in them spaces, man. So our defense is gonna have to be better altogether. We can't rely on the offense, because that means that when the offense, that puts too much pressure on Dak Prescott and the offense to be perfect. We got to get a defense to whereas, no, man, y'all holding us down while we get our stuff together. That's what happened for Kansas City in the Super Bowl. The defense held them down until they got their stuff together and they won another world championship. So I definitely agree with what you're saying as far as, one more thing and I'll get off. You are absolutely right. Cowboy Nation should not accept it's Max Crosby or Pickens. That's why I said that's why I said Philadelphia's cap hit, because it can be done. It's just if you want to do it. But what they do is they float things out to the media, and then it becomes a thing like, we got to pick between the two. I even saw where they were saying Oh, well, they try to pit Pickens against CeeDee Lamb. No, leave that stuff alone, man.
And big time, I'm gonna get your input here. Here's the thing I'm gonna say about content creators and big time. Show credit to you and some of the other content creators. You know, you guys kind of set the standard. I was listening to HTM today. So here's the thing with the salary cap, and Stephen Jones is aware of this, by the way. You can't put the wool over people's eyes. I could literally hire HTM, Jeff Kavanaugh, my son, Mike Fisher. They could run the Cowboys cap, and this is no joke. They could actually do a better job at managing the cap than the Cowboys are doing because the numbers are there. There's a guy that I follow. If you guys are not following him, he's called Outlaw Cowboy.
Oh,
He's one of the best guys I've ever seen as far as the cap. But again, we heard it today. There is just no excuse for them to say we got so much of the pie. That's over. That's gone. You can't do that anymore. So they can absolutely get a Max Crosby, and they have to sign Pickens. There is no if we're going to sign him. You cannot say the salary cap is going to prevent you from signing Pickens a big time. It's just not something that you can say anymore.
Yeah. If you're serious about winning,
yeah,
you know that's been the question. Like, you know, guys like Pickens, and when I say Pickens, there's been other guys that have last names, and they all represent the word. What I always like to say is impact. The mentality of the Cowboys has always been, listen, we don't trade or sign free agents for impact. We sign for depth. You heard Jerry say just this year, why would I pay Michael Parsons X amount of dollars when I can spend it on three guys, the same amount on three guys? So that tells you that they really want depth rather than going to get, quote unquote, the man.
Yeah.
Well, if you get the man, you don't fall farther away from a Super Bowl. You get closer. That don't mean that you're gonna win it. It just you're really you're raising your chances. A guy like Crosby, and then you can't make the excuse. I would like to know why you wouldn't do it when you were going to pay Michael Parsons $41 million, and this dude contract is already set, and I believe it's 34, 35, whatever it is. It's cheaper, which is what they like. Next year, as I said, his contract is hit. His average his salary next year is $29 million. It don't make, and you got him locked in. He ain't getting back to the table. You see what I'm saying? He ain't coming to the table. The contract is set. So I don't understand why you would even inquire about this. The only thing that would stop it is unless the Raiders are asking for something, crazy. Your two number ones and next year's one of your number ones next year, then I get it. I'll say, okay, some things you just can't do. And I get it. And I'm quite sure the Raiders would feed off our quote unquote slight desperation to want him. But it just makes sense for us to go, at least knock at the door and see what we can do to get him. And the other thing is, please understand, from a competition standpoint, the Cowboys won't be the only one knocking at this dude's door if he's in the trade value. And the worst thing that I would hate to see is one of our enemies get him, preferably the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's gonna be the Eagles.
You see what I'm saying? And then I would just like,
it's gonna be the Eagles or the 49ers.
Yeah, and I'm saying, like, come on, man, that we just can't. Sooner or later, we got to go ahead and just get aggressive. And that's why I was saying you ain't got time to be waiting around, as they like to say with Jerry, like say, see where the tea leaves fall. Make your own tea leaves. You understand? Make your own tea leaves. Just make it happen. You ain't got time to wait. If this is what you want to do, if this is what they want to do. But like I said, when it comes to the Cowboys, this is the type of thing that they just don't do. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It made sense to get Bobby Wagner. It made sense to get Derrick Henry. It made total sense. What they do, they ain't bring a meeting in. And I'm like, come on, man. Like
we got LVE.
Yeah, we believe in LVE. Come on, man. We gotta, you know what I'm saying?
We got McDonald's at home.
Yeah, I'm saying they have a bargain mentality while everybody else is going for Rolls Royces. We want Honda Accords. And that's what's killing me about it. And I just don't like it.
So Cowboy Joe said something earlier, and he said that HTM could pretty much run the, the front office.
Cowboys.
The cap and the front office, right? So let me tell you why he could do it. Because it ain't his money, and he's just worried about winning. Yeah. That's what most GMs and front office guys do. They worried about winning. They're not worried about, man, it's gonna cost us much. Hey, man, we gotta get this player. Why? We don't get it. We ain't gonna be here, man. We gotta win. We gotta sometime win this thing. And so that's what Jerry and them kind of fall back on, the fact that, and I know I said a lot, man, but I really want people to understand this, is that we have people in the front office that, factor in, hey, I got to pay this dude. It's my money. And when it's your money, you hold on to your money a little bit tighter than hold on to somebody else's money, right? And so you make decisions like when it's somebody else's money, you're like, nah, I'm just trying to win. Hey, we're going to pay this guy this amount. So in actuality, HN would do a better job than what they're doing right now, because he'd go out and get some players. Tell you what he would do, he'd definitely go out and get Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? Unless what Big Time said too, like if they're asking for 2 twos and okay, you got to almost put that out there if you Jones and say, hey, we went after the guy, they wanted 2 twos and 2 ones, and 2 twos or something like that. That's too much.
Can't do that.
But what would you give up for him anyway, though, Big Time? I didn't hear you on that, because the reason why I asked is because Scott said something the other day. He said, man, I'll give up 2 ones. And at first I thought, man, that's kind of high. And then I started thinking about it. I said, it's kind of high, but what that leave you with is still 2 ones and Clark. I mean, you still have Clark and your own 2 ones and, and Max Crosby. So I still think you win the whole thing. What do you think?
Let me kill this real quick. Well, I ain't gonna say kill it because everybody got an opinion. I think Ma wants Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett will cost you more than Max Crosby. That I wouldn't even knock at that door, because I already know that Myles Garrett will cost you way more. You would have to give up 2 number 1s for sure. What I would do, I would use those bargaining chips and get right back what Green Bay gave us. I would, if I know I can get this kid.
Yeah.
He's worth 2 number 1s.
Yeah.
You don't miss what you never had. You don't know what you were gonna get. Green Bay's pick, it's probably gonna be like Green Bay, if they do what everybody thinking they're gonna do, it's gonna be in the low end of the first round. So it's almost like a high second round pick.
It'll be a second.
You see what I'm saying? So then your number 1 pick, the way that it was going at first now, was that the Cowboys aren't gonna be that good. But now, folks, the narrative is slightly changing, and you can see now we're hearing the word playoffs now. So let's just say the Cowboys get the playoffs, and let's just say they did a 1 and done. Okay, well, 1 and done will get you what? Somewhere between, in the draft, 18 and 21 maybe? Somewhere in that area there?
It'll be in the 20s, yeah.
So I'm saying, like, this draft, they were already saying, this draft ain't really hitting on nothing right now. To be honest with you, this really not. I don't care what position. There ain't no quarterbacks this year. Not really. Everybody talking about Arch Manning, but Arch ain't all that.
He ain't coming out this year anyway.
Yeah, so when you get past Arch Manning, you start naming quarterbacks, and you saying, okay, are they franchise changers? That's where the real money is. Then you start thinking about some of these guys who are athletes and pass rushers. You always gonna find that, but are they like number 1? They're gonna be number 1 picks because maybe the draft ain't all that. But let me get to B-Bird and I answer real quick and throw it over to you, Cowboy Joe. What would I give up? I definitely would give up, if push came to shove, those I'll give up 2 number 1 picks. I'll give up the one that Green Bay gave us. I ain't never had it. I'll give that to them. And check this out. And look at it from the Raiders' perspective. What are they? 1 and 6 or something like that?
Yeah, they in bad shape.
Guess what? They need the picks. They're rebuilding. Especially if they trade Max. They need all the number ones. They'll be happy about that. Trust me.
That's right.
Super happy. So I would give them that, and that may just be enough to get it done, to be honest with you. Go ahead, Cowboy Joe. I done hogged it up too long.
No, you're good. I think it's going to be competitive in terms of who's going to try to acquire Crosby. You're looking at the 49ers, you're looking at the Eagles, so that may drive the price up. The other thing that I kind of noticed that's happening, guys, a lot of these teams are knocking each other off. So I think we're going to be in this thing for a while. I think the Eagles, B-Bird in 23, was that 23 or 22 when they jumped out? They were in first place, and then we caught them at the very end, and we won a division.
I think that was 23.
And so that could happen again because the games they got coming up, we're right there on the doorstep of being in first place in the division. The Chicago game and the Carolina game still hanging out there. So I said all that to say this. The hang around the rim situation with Jerry, and did y'all hear his mumbo jumbo he said yesterday about Pickens? It was either yesterday or Wednesday. Yeah. They asked him about retaining Pickens. So, like, what is he talking about? So, again, he still thinks that this is 1980 something where you don't have content creators that can check everything you're saying. Mm-hmm. And as I said, the content creators, we're on it. So he should not be given any leeway as far as signing Pickens. I tweeted out the other day, it's been a couple of times when I'm just like bouncing. I'm a Cowboy fan, third generation Cowboy fan, but 30 years, it's a long time. And if you screw up this Pickens signing, if you don't do something to get this team over the top, man, I'm saying I'm just gonna be done with Jerry. Love the Cowboys, and then Jerry and Steven, this is going to be a crossing, a point for them to put up or shut up, the way I see it.
So one of the things I talked about, I had a show the other day, and let's look at this from so the Raiders came out and said that we love Max Crosby. I'm not saying this exactly, but they love Max Crosby, and they're not talking about trading him, and they told Max they're not going to trade him, and this, that, and other. So the what I looked at is that this is a whole bunch of BS, man. Okay, you have the Raiders who are 1-6, who do not even have a franchise quarterback coming up or anybody ready to go. You sign Max Crosby to 3 years, and you need to rebuild. You need draft picks to do that. Well, if everything goes well for them, they won't be good until 2028, 2029. Well, how old would Max Crosby be then? So you have an asset right now that you can get you. What's the best way to turn around a young team? Draft picks. So who got the draft picks? Well, the Eagles don't have the draft capital the Cowboys have, nor do the 49ers. So the Raiders they're just putting that out there right now. But to drive the price up, this is my opinion. But I think Max Crosby, if the right offer comes, they will trade him. It's no reason to hold on to him. It's no different than why we traded Herschel Walker a long time ago. Why? We weren't going to be good with him around. So, hey, he's the only asset we got. We got to turn this thing around. Whenever we're good, he's not going to be good anymore. So it's the same thing with Max Crosby. Man, Max Crosby 32 or 33 years old when those guys start competing really again. And so there's no sense to hold on to him. So just from their standpoint, I think it's a whole bunch of BS. He's able to be gotten.
I don't believe what I never have believed what general managers and owners say. I never have believed in them because the right price will change anything.
Absolutely.
The Cowboys, for instance, swore up and down that they weren't getting rid of Michael Parsons. We're not trading him. We're not trading him. We're not.
Yep.
We're not going to do that. I mean, this is Michael Parsons. I mean, we're not going to do it. And then here we go. Right before Philadelphia, Michael Parsons on the airplane. It's going on. As far as Pickens goes, I think it's important that the mindset of Pickens, I really believe, and I believe Cowboy Joe, I don't want nobody to ever forget this because we know, and I see your son is on here, Jules know as well, that our fraternity brother is Michael Parsons' agent. And ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't know, that is the agent, same agent of Michael Parsons. So if Jerry had a problem, so quote unquote, with Dave Mulgeta, or how you pronounce his name?
Mulgeta,
my friend. If he had a problem with him then, he really could have a problem with Pickens if Pickens do what we think he's gonna do. Because it's going to happen. And I don't think it's really gonna be a problem, but here's what the difference is gonna be, y'all. And I don't really want to talk about Pickens too much because he gonna play it out. Because he gonna prove it. Since y'all told him to prove it, he gonna prove it. But I think I think the players are really gonna vouch for him. The coaching staff is gonna vouch, and I believe they gonna come against Jerry. And I think that's what's gonna probably get that thing done. But that's neither here nor there. I wouldn't pay him now, y'all. I'm saying I wouldn't, because I want him to stay hungry. I'm not saying he wouldn't stay hungry. I'm saying let it be. I just say you don't let him out your hand. And keep in mind that franchise tag thing is over his head too. But I don't think that'll be stupid. I don't like it either, because you'll get the attitude then.
Absolutely.
You'll get it then. But since they got his rights, they'll try to play that route, that role too, and it wouldn't make sense. But let's shift, because B-Bird danced around it. Cowboy Joe, he didn't say the word that I was looking for. I was waiting on him. I was gonna put the organ behind him and have him preach. If he would have said it, but he didn't say it. He brought up something about the Cowboys. He brought up the Green Bay game, and he brought up the San Francisco game, and the way we weren't able to front run. And then those three games, actually, specific playoff games, they beat us up, and we couldn't front run. So now we had to really play. But in my view, we couldn't play because at that time, Kellen Moore was running offense. And Kellen Moore is what I consider a pure finesse offensive coordinator. And so when you're talking about bad weather games on the road in the playoff, or even in Dallas, and you bring in teams that know how to beat you up and out physical you, that's what I was waiting for B Bird to say. Get physicality. We got our brains beat out. Now, in this year's version, I got to admit, I'm seeing a little more physicality. And maybe now, we got a long way to go. Okay? We got a long way to go. But I'm starting to put my hat on. Okay, we can play physical now. Even with the defense. Even with our defense, who's getting better. We ain't 32 no more, y'all. We 28. We getting better. You know what I'm saying? We climbing. We slowly but surely climbing. But that's the reason why this game, Joe, this game here with the Denver, this right here is kind of like a report card. Like, I got some boxes that I need to check to see if y'all really are what I think y'all are. And if I don't see it, really ain't nothing changed. Talk to me, Joe.
So this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, so did you guys see Detroit play the other night? They played, who were they playing, B-Bird?
I can't remember.
So did you see their defensive coordinator? So their defensive coordinator is a black guy, young guy. He's got the
Vance Joseph, Denver. Talking about Denver.
Well, we will talk about Vance Joseph here in just a second.
Okay.
But Detroit's their defensive coordinator is a young brother. You can just look at him and tell, he is one of those kind of guys that has your team fired up, ready to go. Robert Saleh is back over there with the 49ers big time. You've seen him and his antics on the sideline. They They just bring a physical brand of football. He's just very engaging. Vance Joseph is another guy that I like. Okay, young brother. So where I'm going with this is what I have concerns about our defense. We don't have that type of coach. We have a get off my lawn guy coaching our defense. Somebody that could maybe be a high school or a principal or something. So my concern about our defense is I still don't believe we have a leader from a coaching standpoint that's going to have our guys fired up, ready to go. And then just to keep some balance to it, look at the great Steve Spagnuolo with the Chiefs. You know, he's obviously a Caucasian guy. But every week, his defense, they bring in the heat. You're going to get every blitz package he have. They're going to play physical. So, big time, I'm with you on the physicality on the offense. I'm not there with the defensive coach. That's the thing that I think we're missing.
Ooh, let me stop right there. I got some tension. I got some tension for you, Joe.
Okay.
I got some tension for you, B-Bird, before you crank this up, because I ain't give you a chance to answer, but let me stop you right there. Before the Washington game, when everybody was down on the defense, well, after the Carolina game, if y'all heard the press conferences and you heard Coach Schottenheimer, you say we didn't have it. I agree. But Schottenheimer was in those defensive meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And when Schottenheimer came in there, the next thing we saw was some aggression. We saw over 50% man coverage. And how do we not know that in those meetings that there was not an honest conversation? Because playing 54% man coverage is not Eberflus way.
Yeah.
However, Schottenheimer comes from the old school where his father believed in putting pressure on the quarterback. And keep in mind this, please do not mess this up. He was the offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, of a team that went to 2 straight AFC championship games.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the head coach and defensive coordinator? Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Who no doubt is an aggressive defensive coordinator. You don't think that he didn't learn nothing from that about getting to a quarterback? So I'm gonna have to push a little bit on you, Joe. Maybe it ain't Eberflus we need to look at. Maybe we need to tip the hat to Schottenheimer for saying, "Hey man, we can't run the zone like this. We just can't do it. We got to, you know, give, you know, we got to put it in there." And ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, we saw the results. Yeah. Now, they don't mean it was the number 1 defense in the league, but we saw a team. Watch this. I was just happy that we made the punter punt the ball 2 more times. Because if our offense is scoring like they are, you get them just a couple extra possessions, guess what? They're going to score and they're going to rip this game apart. That's all I want. Can we finally get them from attempting field goals? Can you make them punt the ball from the other side of, of the field? And so that means no points, no nothing, and a 3 and out every now and then. That's all I was looking for. And I think we got it last week. I'm not saying we get it this week. I'm just saying we got it last week. So that's the only pushback at. B-Bird, you heard what Cowboy Joe said. Talk to us about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. One thing that I talked about, I can't remember, I think I talked about it with you guys, is that Shotty's not the offensive coordinator, he's a head coach. And the defense ultimately falls on him. Mm-hmm. So if it's going to fall on me and it's faltering, I'm going to go in that room and go see what's going on. We're going to have a man-to-man conversation. Because I ain't losing my job behind you. So the defense was one thing. What it was death by 1,000, paper cuts. That's what it was. Also, it was bend and break defense. What I'm trying to say, man, look, if this zone is working and quarterbacks getting back there, getting comfortable, you know what? I'm gonna switch this thing up. I'm gonna be multiple, and I'm gonna blitz you sometime. I think in football, man, with this passing league, you have got to get pressure by any means necessary on your. If your 4 guys in the front's not getting it, with stunts and stuff like that, give me somebody blitzing or whatever. I'll give up that in the back end that this guy might not see him or whatever. But we got to get hits on the quarterback. We have got to affect the quarterback, and you don't have that individual here anymore to do that. So I just think they did a heck of a job last week mixing it up. When a quarterback does not know what defense you're going to be in at the snap of the ball, it makes them hold on to it a little bit longer, and that's coach controlled. That's what you call. So I think that Shotty went in and talked to him and say, hey man, we got to do more, and Eberflus kind of listened, and I think we saw some of the results from that.
So one thing I want to point out, and I don't know if you guys noticed this big time, and B-Bird. So a lot of these coaches, when they're calling the offense, like Sean Payton, Shanahan, Shotty's doing it. When the defense has the ball, they're looking at their play sheet and whatnot, getting ready for the next series. What I've noticed in the last couple of games, big time, when our defense is on the field, Shotty is standing there with his arms folded, looking at the defense. He's looking at something. So that lets me know that he is trying to say to his coordinator, look, I'm checking you out. I'm watching you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to let you just what we did in Chicago and Carolina. It's not going to happen again. So look for that on Sunday. If you see him standing over there with his arms folded, looking at the defense, that's a good sign for us.
That's what a head coach does. Yeah. To be honest with you. But let me dilute the enthusiasm just a little bit. Because let me ask y'all this, because y'all watch film, y'all know the game. Let me ask y'all this real quick. If Deebo Samuel would have played, and if Terry McLaughlin would have played, and McLaughlin is coming back this week, would we have ran that much man defense last week?
No, they said it. They said as much too. They said that it depends on the personnel. That's why they ran more man. They said that. Yeah, they
did what they were supposed to do. They had, I don't know, they had third string wide receivers. Their best asset last week was running the ball between Cross Moslett and Jaden Daniels. So you could tell the way we were lined up. My God, you could almost see about 8-9 guys just in your TV picture. They were daring Jaden to throw the ball, and they just believe that you can't beat our corners. I don't think that will happen, which leads to this game. I'm going to tell y'all this. Now, y'all may not agree with me, and the chat may not agree with me. This is a zone game. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Bo Nix ain't that good, like everybody say he is. Bo Nix is a short, intermediate thrower, screens, bubble screens, slants. He's not a guy that throws the ball down the field. He does it horizontally, not vertical. He's not that type of thrower. And what he kills you with, obviously, is his running legs. That's what he kills you. You want to confuse him. You want to make him see when it's man to man, he can see that. I'm not saying that we supposed to, go 95% zone or something like that, because I agree with B Bird 1,000,000%. You got to put some pressure on this dude.
Yeah, mix it up.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see. That's why I was saying the report card is out this week, if you ask me, because the defense either going to not flourish in it, or we going to get killed in it, or we going to do better. But that's what I want to put on that. Let's go over real quick, y'all, because we've been on an hour. I know we don't like to be on too long. But what do y'all see in this game? Y'all can go offense, defense, special team, whatever, however way to go. I'm seeing something completely different. Not guaranteed.
You want to go first, Cowboy Joe?
Yeah, I'll go first. So, we talked about Al Green, the great Al Green, last week. So I think we're gonna find out Sunday. They call it, they used to talk about McCarthy talked about complementary football. That's where your offense and defense is. You got a good game plan. So Sunday, I would just say Sean Payton is going to wake up Sunday morning, and he's going to take the field saying, I'm going to put up 40 points on this defense. And so your defensive coordinator, he's going to have the Al Green game plan where he comes in and just throws hot grits on everybody, or he's gonna have a love and happiness game plan where he mixes it up, plays some zone, plays some man, and the physicality is what I'm looking for defensively. This is a big game because up there in that environment, I watched the Giants and Denver game where they scored 33 points in that one quarter.
Crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to be physical. This is the game where we're gonna see big time if we are a physical team. And it's gonna have to be on both sides of the ball. And that's what I'm looking for in this game is, are we gonna be physical for 60 minutes? Because that's what it's gonna take.
What's your score? What's your score, Cowboy Joe?
So I'm gonna go Dallas 27, Denver 24. I think I had the same score probably every week, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I think we're gonna be able to move the ball. We have to have the ball. If you can just get Dak, our offense, we're like Steph Curry right now. We just high volume shooting. So if you can just give Dak the ball, we're gonna be okay in this game. But if our defense lets them drive the ball down the field, take time off the clock, it's gonna be a tough one. But I'm just win, lose, or draw. I'm just looking for the physicality, and I gotta see it from this defense.
Chat, before B-Bird go, y'all put in y'all score real quick. Let's see. I need everybody in here hit that like button first. Wherever you're watching from, whoever channel you're watching this on, hit that like button first, and then put your score in the chat. Go ahead, B-Bird.
So a couple of things, man, that don't really add up for us. Okay, one of them is the Denver Broncos. We have not beat them in 30 years, and that's crazy. It's two teams that I don't really I have a bad feeling playing against, and Denver's one of them. The other one is the Cardinals. Crazy things happen when we play against the Cardinals, and we play those guys back to back. The altitude is another thing that the Cowboys are not used to playing in. Somebody, and I did my video the other day, somebody suggested that, hey, they ought to get there early and, kind of get used to it. I said, it ain't a bad idea, to be totally honest with you. And the third thing, I don't know if y'all even realize this, we have not been a good grass team over the last few years, man. We have not won on grass or played well on grass. So you got grass, you got Denver, and you got altitude. Man, we win this game by a half a point, man. I'm happy. I'm serious, man. And it'll tell me a lot if we just fight it. It's going to be a tough game, man. And I would say something like 28-24. Hopefully we can get a win. It's just bad things happen when we play against Denver, man. We started off a good year. Remember a couple of years ago, we started off good, and then we kind of we just rolling everybody. Then we played Denver, and everything just went to a standstill. And it was kind of when our season took a downturn also with that Denver loss. But yeah, there's bad things happen in Denver, in Dallas with playing against Denver. And so I'm just hoping we just get a win, man.
So big time, before you jump in, it's just unbelievable that B-Bird said that about the grass and the turf. We talked about this on one of our first shows, B-Bird. Yeah. We are a much faster team on turf. Oh, and we are a slower team on grass. So that's definitely a great point. But and the crazy thing is, our 90s teams, we were the best on grass. Could play both, but we were the best team always with Emmett, that line that we had on grass. So that's something that Shotty needs to look at.
Mentally tough teams can play anywhere.
Yep.
The offense can't stay this high, can it? I mean, I
think they can.
I mean, they just can't just obliterate people and be averaging over 30 a game. I mean, at some point, somebody is gonna make us get in the booth, the telephone booth, and throw punches. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it just got to happen. Is it this week? I don't know. I'm anxious to see, can we throw punches and take punches and respond in a close game? And I'm not saying that I've been right. I think I said we was gonna score 40 points last week. I think I did.
Yeah, you've been right every week.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say this. this is what I want to carry. I'll get my score in a second. And I really don't even know how to really do. I'm gonna figure it out as I talk. Let me tell y'all.
That's what OGs do.
Yeah. Let me. This game here represents, and I know every year is different and every team is different, and I get it. And there's a different attitude, and I'm seeing a different attitude with this team. However, traditionally, these are the games that we have a chance to change the narrative about ourselves.
Yep.
And whenever if people start liking us, and then we get this test, and then we lay an egg. And this, once again, is an opportunity to really say, okay, we believe now. And I'm really talking about the media. I really don't, I believe that the players believe.
Mm-hmm.
But that, sometimes, you believe, you just come up with the short end of the stick. These are the games where traditionally, what is the narrative about the Cowboys? The narrative about the Cowboys is this. We beat up teams that are not good. And when we play a good team, we lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
That's the culture.
That is and it has just not, it has been this way for years. We just do not, these are the games that we just can't get over the hump. If you really want Dak to be the MVP, guess what? This is the game where if he wins it, folks gonna be saying, oh yeah, he the MVP, for real.
Mm.
But if he loses it, they gonna say, well, we knew he was a fraud.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? This is the game where we haven't taken advantage of. And I just feel like this is to be the start of something that can really be another confidence builder for this team, like saying, oh yeah, we got something special going on. And so you're presenting, once again, I said it like this, Isaiah Thomas. I said this on my show many times. Isaiah Thomas was asked the question, the great guard from Detroit Pistons. He said, they asked him the question, what is the difference between a great player and then a Hall of Fame player, a good player and a great player that may reach the Hall of Fame? Isaiah Thomas said something that has stuck with me for years, man. Isaiah Thomas said, the ones that are in the Hall of Fame took advantage of the moments of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right.
The highlights. That's what you see, what they did when the pressure was on and all that.
That's right.
Dak Prescott, whether the bad defense was there, whether he threw a bad interception or whatever the case, the Cowboys as a whole have not taken advantage of the opportunities. They've had plenty of them.
They haven't.
Different coaches, and they just haven't gotten over the hump. This is what one of these games, Sunday, represents. And you can change the whole narrative by simply just going up there and get a win, whether it's by 1 point or whether it's by 30 points. Now, that being said, let me ask you the question. I think that the Cowboys are going to do exactly what they've been doing offensively. I think we putting 30 up again. My question is, this week though, simply, have we gotten better in the zone? Because I really do believe we're going to see a mixture, but we're going to see a lot of zone. I think we're going to play the game like we played the Jets. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It was not a whole lot of zone. It was about 70% zone. But you do remember we were putting Justin Fields on his butt because we were hitting him too, even though we didn't get the sack because he mixed in a lot of man. In this game, you want to confuse him. Man to man makes it easy for him. You want to zone him up. You want to confuse his eyes. You want to do that because you're going to get your hand on the ball. My question is, have our defense gotten better in playing zone, which leads to this, Cowboy Joe, because you said it a little bit earlier. Diggs ain't playing this week. It's Bridges. I don't know what Bridges look like in zone because it was a lot of man last week. Okay, I know what Bland can do. Okay, I don't know what they can do in zone. I don't know. I think Shamar James is better in zone than he was 3 weeks ago. I think Murray is better in zone than he was 3 weeks ago. Can that equal up to simply making Denver punt the football and instead of getting point scores going? All I want to say is this. I think the Cowboys are going to pull it out. I think we're going to score 34 points. I think Denver is going to score, watch this, I believe they ain't going to score no more than 20. I'm serious. I think this team right now, I think they're feeding off the energy of that. And let me say this quick because we ain't brought this up. Ain't nobody scared of Patrick Surtain. Not this thing.
Not our receivers, no.
Not this thing. No. Please go follow whoever you gonna follow and go one-on-one. Because it's just like everybody's worried about Sauce Gardner. But no, Pickens ain't scared of nobody. Matter of fact, B-Bird, watch this. Pick it up. Watch this, B-Bird. Go back, if you can, Cowboy Joe, Jules, if you still on here, watch this. Go back and watch the game of Pittsburgh against Denver and watch what Pickens did to Patrick Surtain. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Now, ain't nobody scared of Patrick Surtain. Go at him. When you got a quarterback this hot, I don't care what Surtain, I don't care who he go get. Man, go after him. And that other kid that they got over there, Moss or whatever, man, he is no factor. They singling up him. They killing him. So, I mean, that's where it is. We got too much offense to be stopped, to be honest with you. But if they do stop us, because everybody talking about Bonito. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, listen. The Denver Broncos defensive line, didn't we see the Giants defensive line?
Carolina was good too.
Hello? Is Denver's defensive line better than the Giants? We handled them guys. We handled Carolina. Carolina, we lost the game, but Carolina didn't stop us. We put 30 on them. So that, you know, I get it. I respect all opponents, but let's not act like that, you know, they just a great job. Yes, they lead the NFL in sacks. Yes, they do. I give them credit for that. But they ain't seen nobody like us. I'm just here to tell you. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but Cooper Beebe's coming back this week too, isn't he?
It ain't been determined, but he's been practicing. And, you know, I'm cool with Hoffman. Give BB another week.
But what I was getting to is that our offensive linemen, the ones that are injured, have slowly been coming back. So our line is getting back to where it was.
Yeah.
But I do have a question for you, man. It just ran through my mind, and this might keep us on a little bit longer. But
cool.
What does 2 wins before the bye does for our trade prospects?
Oh,
does
my God. Cowboy Joe. Go with that, Cowboy Joe. Mine easy.
Yeah.
I was scared to answer that question, man, but I got to ask it.
Yeah, it's going to increase the prospects of a trade. And I just think the schedule is going to do it too, B-Bird, because like I said, these teams are knocking each other off. So, you know, the Eagles, I think Washington plays Kansas City coming up.
Yes.
And the Giants playing the Eagles. The Giants can beat the Eagles, by the way.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, we're going to be in this thing for a while. So it's really good for the team that we having playoff games every week. It's just really building up that tough metal that we need. So this game here, like I said, Vance Joseph, he's going to try to hit us with everything he got. He gonna do heavy blitz packages. So if Steele and Guyton can hold up,
please blitz that.
Javonte Williams homecoming, you know, we might be okay here. It's gonna be a fun game to watch, and then we'll talk about it next week.
I'm gonna say this to answer your question, B-Bird. I think that you really don't need to see if you let Bo Nix have a great game just about like every other quarterback done had, with the exception of last week and Justin Fields, then you're gonna have to make a trade anyway, because by now you're gonna say, why are you Why are you wasting this prolific offense like this? And all you got to do is just stop somebody by 2 drives at least, and they gonna score. Whether it's a field goal, we got a goddamn kicker, man. That all you got to do is get to the 50-yard line. Yeah. I mean, we scoring points regardless.
Get to the logo.
I think that if if we let Bo Nix just destroy us, I think that might increase. Because then you're gonna say, man, we gotta get some pressure on this quarterback.
Yeah,
we got to do it now. We got to do it. But in the event that we win, you still got the same response. Like, we cannot let this offense do it. We need to really increase our chances. For instance, look, Broncos this week, Cardinals. The difference, I heard y'all talk about the Cardinals. The difference between the Cardinal game this year is finally we ain't got to go there. The Arizona Stadium is just a graveyard for us. They got to come to Dallas. So I ain't really just, I ain't saying I ain't worried about them. I'm just saying.
They was in Dallas last time too.
I remember that. Well, we were horrible that year. Then you got the bye week, which is where the trade probably gonna happen. But look, when you get past the Raiders, and I ain't just blowing past them, you got the Eagles. That's Jalen Hurts. You got the Chiefs. That's Mahomes. You got Goff. That's the Lions. Now, common sense tell you, you better have somebody that can get to the quarterback. So that's why I was saying Cowboy Joe was absolutely right, and he just made me. I'm gonna steal that one, Joe. I'm just telling you now. Joe said the schedule may dictate what a trade gonna be, and like I just said, those 3 games, the Chiefs, all back to back. No, I'm sorry, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Lions. Those 3 games right there is gonna dictate the whole season. Cause see, you can't go 1-2 or 0-3.
No,
you can't do that. Or we gonna be right back and saying like, well, it's gonna be hard for the Cowboys or whatever. Though these look right after, and please, Lord, injuries, just hopefully, and by that time, we will have a big fish that will be in the lineup, and I'm not depending on him. I'm just gonna say, be grateful that he's back. Take what you can get and pray to God he don't get hurt. And that's DeMar and
Overshawn, yeah.
And when he'll be back by that time, which could be a major piece in your defense. That might be your, whatever. And that's what that might be what they're waiting on, to be honest with you. Is Overshawn to come back because he's gonna blitz a lot. But those 3 games there are gonna be huge. And so if the Cowboys win Sunday, 31-30, chances are they tell you Bo Nix had a good game. We can't let every quarterback have a good game against us, y'all. And that's why I'm saying I'm still in there from Cowboy Joe. Joe said it best. The schedule and who's coming may dictate, okay, we need to make a trade, because if we don't, Jalen Hurts going to embarrass us. We already know Patrick Mahomes. Good Lord. Patrick Mahomes can destroy us. That's Andy Reid, too. Then we talk about Detroit.
That Detroit game up there, that's going to be a tough game.
That'd be one of the games that everybody say we're going to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're not good, if you let Goff just sit back there, they're going to score 40 points on us. I'm just saying. That's just how it is. So I agree with Cowboy Joe more than anything. I believe that the schedule, whether we win or lose, I think that we really need to go after somebody. Is it Crosby? I hope. But there are some other guys that are out there that are lesser, if you want to say it, which sound like the Cowboys. I'll throw one name out, not for discussion, but I've heard Bradley Chubb's name. A guy that can give you about 8-9 sacks a year coming off an injury. That sound like Dallas, a guy that's injured and, has upside, that type of dude. Bradley Chubb will come in. He'll be your, he'll be your best defense end walking in the door day one, if that's the case. And he still can play. And I think he got 4 sacks right now this year. So, he's productive. He's just not Max Crosby. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. But I think that we're going to go after somebody on defense. That's just what I think.
So big time. If you give me a little minute, I told a story the other day on my show, but I'll tell it again because it's a Bradley Chubb, Max Crosby deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So last year, I guess in October, I started looking for a car, a new truck.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked at a GMC Sierra, the 1500. Now, traditionally, what I've done in my trucks, I get a truck, a Ford F-150, but I get cloth seats, kind of the basics on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to a place that had a red one. That's the color I wanted. So we went to a place. It's the elevation level, which is one of the lowest levels of the Sierra. So we went to a place over here not far from me and test drove it, cloth seats and everything, and drove real good. Told the guy I'd get back with him. So the next day, my wife called me. I was at work. Said, "Baby, I know you like the truck, but you ever thought about getting like leather seats and stuff on the inside?" I said, "Nah, babe, I'm good with the cloth seats. It's a good, better deal with the cloth seats, this, that, and other." And so my wife said, "Well, baby, look," she said, "you let me go and get my car built. Both our kids in college got brand new cars." Mm-hmm. She said, "I'm just letting you know that if you want to treat yourself, just go and treat yourself." You know what I'm saying? So what I started doing is I said, "Okay, let me go back and just look around." So I looked around and I found a truck, the same color and everything, but it had this thing called an Elevation Premium package. But what it came with was leather seats, and it came with sunroof, power window, all kinds of different things. So I worked the deal with that just to see what the numbers were. Well, the basic, the one with the leather seats and everything cost $3,500 more. So I had a decision to make. My decision was, am I going to spend $3,500 for the nicer truck or save the money and get the one, with the cloth seats? Well, this is a question I asked myself. I said, if I get the one with the cloth seats and save the $3,500, would I regret not getting the fully loaded one? I said, yeah. Then I said to myself, if I get the fully loaded one, would I regret the $3,500? I said, no, I wouldn't regret that. I can make that up. Well, that was the deal right there. That was it. So what I'm trying to tell you is what goes to this story is this. You can go get Bradley Chubb and he'll be okay because those cloth seats would have been okay.
Yeah.
Or you go get Max Crosby and say, no, I got what I want. Now let's go fight.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was. And I'll tell you right now, man, my wife was right because I love this truck, man. And I've never said that about the other trucks I had. But I finally got what I wanted and didn't try to cheapskate the thing. Because when you try to cheapskate, next thing you know, you're looking for it again, right? Mm-hmm. But now, if you go get Crosby, that's the leather seats, man.
I like it. That's good stuff. Cowboy Joe, tell everybody where. Oh, my mic is going. Okay. Tell everybody where they can find you. I need everybody from the Big Time Show to go find Cowboy Joe and his son, the father and son podcast. Do that and subscribe to him. Tell us where you at, Cowboy Joe.
So we are father and son, Cowboys and Sportscast, and I do a show with my son. He's a college student doing some stuff on the side, and so I do a show with my son. So you can find us at Father and Son Cowboys and Sportscast. On Twitter, I'm at Cowboy Joe 64, and we're just trying to grow our channel. We're doing some things with Big Time Show and B-Bird, and I think I'm biased. I think this Friday night show, man, is one of the best shows out there in this universe. So hopefully people are enjoying what we're doing on Friday night. I really like the content and the way we approach things, and I'm enjoying doing this show with you guys and doing the show with my son. I was reluctant to do content creating at all. My son talked me into it. So just doing the father thing, but enjoying this thing on Friday night with these guys. And so go check our show out during the week with my son. Check out B-Bird. And then, of course, the legendary Big Time Show. Always glad to be on with him.
I just put down for those that are looking for him and following. There it is in the chat. The father and son sportscast. There it is right there in the line there. Let me highlight it. If you should see it in your chat if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can follow him there. It's right there for you. Hit that real quick. He's on live now. You're not going to miss a second. If you go there right now and hit that subscribe button, he and his son, as you just said, they have a tremendous podcast, and they really are great at it. Go ahead, B-Bird. Let everybody know where you at. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm at B-Bird Cowboy on B-Bird Cowboys on Twitter and YouTube. Come check me out. I'm starting to get cranked up a little bit, doing some live shows. I did one the other day through the week. And, just trying to get the hang of this YouTube, podcast thing. Just trying to get the hang of it and get more content out there, man. Like when things come to my mind and I feel it, I got to go and tell my wife, hey, I got to get on, get up online and just get this out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's great being on here on 7 o'clock, man. Fridays. I look forward to being with you guys, man. Just chopping it up, man. Just being with some people that, man, love the Cowboys on the level that I love the Cowboys, and just trying to get six, man. But also too, me and Fastcast did a post-game show after last week's game, man, that did pretty good too. So we might start doing some things post-game, but y'all just tune in, man. Y'all be hearing a lot from us. We are here with a legend with Big Time Show. Been watching Big Time for a while before I started doing content creation. Like his platform, his delivery and everything, man, and his knowledge and his passion. So it's great to be on with him. Fastcast, I love that camaraderie, father and son, special. Nobody else is doing that. He's past it. He'll tell you that he's third generation, so his son's fourth generation. So they've been at this Cowboy thing for a long time, but it's an honor just to be on with you guys, man. And I appreciate being on here with y'all every week. But you can catch me at B-Bird Cowboy on YouTube and Twitter.
Awesome. I just put in his channel there. B-Bird, I put it on the screen again for you guys, but you can look in the chat. I have both of them in there. I ain't put mine in there. I think a lot of people already found me, but I guess I might as well put mine in there.
No, it don't. I ain't gonna hurt no.
I might as well. Okay, so when it comes to this content stuff, y'all, quality matters. Quality. And I'm not gonna say quantity, because if you have good quality, the quantity will come. There's no doubt about that. These two guys that I'm with right now, and we're missing one because he ain't really no OG. he young, but he great. His son is, but I'm talking about Cowboy Joe. His son, is ridiculous, and that's in a good way. He's a bad boy, and so when you combine Cowboy Joe and his son Jules together, look, you got a dynamic show, and their show is growing. You got to go to them and watch them. B-Bird is a little different. B-Bird and Coach Marv are two of the guys that just about every content creator had told them, man, you need to be doing this stuff. Because B-Bird, just like Coach Marv, was legendary in the chats.
Yeah.
Like when B-Bird said something, or Coach Marv, before y'all saw their faces, when you saw them, when you saw them in the chat, you always stopped and highlighted their comment, and you change your show sometimes based off of things that B-Bird and Coach Marv said. So we was all saying, like, man, come on now, B-Bird, you at least gotta try this stuff, because you good, you real good. And I'm grateful that he's done it. And Coach Marv is another one that really, we had him on a couple weeks ago. We'll try to get him back on, but it's just great to be with guys who, number one, know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it's educated. And what is it educated from? Reading. It's educated from looking at film. It's educated from knowing the game themselves. It's educated from years and years of watching football and know what this stuff is supposed to look like. We know bad coaches when we see them. We don't need to see. We know bad coaches the way they talking. We can look at people on the sideline and say, it's kind of like A.J. Brown. Philadelphia tired AJ. He getting ready to get out of here now. You see what I'm saying? But we were saying that weeks ago because we see it. Just like everybody talking about Diggs. Okay, we kind of see some of these signs and saying, like, I know some of y'all want him to stay, but he might be out of here too. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of know the game, and that's why you get somebody like us, Cowboys OGs. We see organizations. We say this for this era. This is how it's supposed to be done. The way we're doing it ain't getting it. That's why on a good day you'll hear Cowboy Joe destroying the Jones family. Why? Because he's seen Philadelphia. You see what I'm saying? And he sees how Philadelphia's doing it. And he says, okay, this is how you're going to beat people in this era. He also is one that saw the Jones family in the 90s. And this version of the Jones family don't look like the Jones family from the 90s. And so he has a comparison. And that's why if you go into their shows, him and his son, you'll see him dissect Jerry and Stephen Jones. I'm talking about like he performing surgery on them and telling the truth. Now, guess what? Our job or my job is to raise everybody up because everybody did that for me. And so when I see somebody that I don't waste time with no trash. Now I'm sorry. I'm just saying I don't. And so when I see quality, I'm raising the quality. I'm trying to get this quality up. So other people can see what I'm saying. I watch these guys' shows. I ain't on live with them because I be asleep. Shoot, I'm tired. but I go back and watch them because they're a couple of my favorites. You understand? So I see that. I want all of you in the chat to let these guys be your favorites as well. And I promise you, when we all come together, guess what? It's almost like superpowers coming together, and that's what you're seeing tonight. So I appreciate everybody that came on. If you're watching this, whatever day you're watching this on, if you're watching this later, I hope you guys will come back. We try to go live every Friday night. Give y'all our perspective of the upcoming game, and then when we come back, we'll have something to talk about, win or lose, and we'll see what's happening. But I appreciate everybody that hung with us tonight. Appreciate you, Ahmad. I appreciate you saying I'm your favorite, but guess what? E-Bird, one of my favorites. Cowboy Joe is one of my favorites. I appreciate that so much. And these guys are lethal in the podcast community. So I'm grateful to be with my brothers on tonight. We're just gonna try to do it higher. And for those that are watching in the comment section, comment as if you are watching this live. We'll check it out. We may add more comments to this because you guys are smart too. We ain't the only ones that's watching tape. Y'all are too. Y'all just don't have the platform like we got, but y'all may know more than we know. So it's awesome. So I appreciate all you guys, man. Let's y'all guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll come back to you on next Friday, right around the same time.
Yes, sir.
I believe that's it.
Sounds good.
Go ahead. Is that it, everybody?
That's it.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and only. Ain't nobody like us. The Cowboys OG Podcast. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you next Friday.